Under President Babangida's leadership, Nigeria's economy suffered significantly. One of the most notable decisions was the Structural Adjustment Program (SAP), which led to the devaluation of the naira. On October 1, 1986, the naira was trading at an 4.02 to the US dollar. However, by 1992, it had plummeted to an 17.30 to the US dollar. This drastic devaluation had far-reaching consequences. Inflation soared, and the cost of living increased dramatically. Many Nigerians struggled to afford basic necessities, and the economy suffered. To understand the impact of Babangida's policies, let's examine the economic performance of previous administrations. During the First Republic, under President Tafawa Balewa's leadership, 1960 to 1966, Nigeria's economy experienced significant growth. The country's GDP grew at an average rate of 4.4% per annum, and the naira was stable. After the Civil War, General Gowan's administration, 1966 to 1975, focused on reconstruction and development. The economy grew rapidly, driven by the oil boom. However, the administration's policies were criticized for being overly dependent on oil revenue. General Murtala Mohammed's administration, 1976 to 1979, introduced policies aimed at diversifying the economy and promoting development. Although his tenure was short-lived, his policies laid the foundation for future economic growth. General Obasanjo's administration, 1976 to 1979, continued the economic policies of his predecessors. The administration invested in infrastructure development, education, and healthcare. The economy experienced significant growth, and the country's GDP increased. In contrast, Babangida's SAP policies led to widespread poverty, inflation, and economic instability. The devaluation of the naira made imports more expensive, contributing to economic hardship. The country's infrastructure suffered, and the gap between the rich and the poor widened. The economic instability and poverty that resulted from Babangida's policies had far-reaching consequences. Many Nigerians suffered, and the country's development was hindered. The legacy of his policies continues to impact the country's economy today. In conclusion, while opinions about President Babangida's policies vary, one thing is clear: the economy suffered significantly during his tenure. As we reflect on the past, let's work together to build a better Nigeria for all. President Balewa, 1960 to 1966. GDP growth rate, 4.4% per annum. Inflation rate, 3.4% per annum. Naira exchange rate, stable. General Gowan, 1966 to 1975. GDP growth rate, 7.1% per annum. Inflation rate, 10.4% per annum. Naira exchange rate, stable. General Obasanjo, 1976 to 1979. GDP growth rate, 5.4% per annum. Inflation rate, 12.1% per annum. Naira exchange rate, stable. President Babangida, 1985 to 1993. GDP growth rate, 3.4% per annum. Inflation rate, 40.6% per annum. Naira exchange rate, and 4.0 to 2 and 17.30 per US dollar.